Hi everyone. This is the MoneyMaker webinar for our reseller partners where we cover product and marketing updates. I'm your host, Alexa, the head of reseller engagement here at GoDaddy. Thanks for joining us for the second half of our two-part webinar series dedicated to Microsoft 365, which will be launching very soon here. Before I introduce everyone else on the webinar and we hop into the product demo, I have a couple things to cover. First, a reminder that part one of our webinar series covering Microsoft 365 from last month is posted on our YouTube channel, in the RCC, and in the reseller resource portal. And in that first webinar, we covered details on the different tiers of the product and reviewed steps for you to opt in to sell Microsoft 365. We will go over those steps on the webinar again today, just to make sure that you know how to opt in and where to find all of those important information snippets regarding that process. And for everyone that already opted in to sell Microsoft 365, we see you and great job on being on the ball and getting yourself ready for when the product launches very soon. We are rewarding a handful of you with the chance to participate in our Elite Incentive Program. So if you have been chosen to participate in the incentive program, someone from GoDaddy will get in touch with you next week to share the details of this exciting new program. And then the last thing is just a reminder to check your email and the RCC about the end of life for business registration, which is happening in November. So if you have customers that have business registration attached to their domains, you would have already received an email regarding this topic. I think that email went out a couple days ago on the 12th. So if you don't have customers affected, you can ignore this announcement. But within a week of business registration being retired, your effective customers will get a prorated in-store credit for the remaining term of their product, and that can be used towards future renewals or product purchases. You'll receive your commission from the initial sale of the original business registration purchase, which is good, and no action is needed from you or your customers as these changes will be applied automatically. All right, so let's move into our main topic, Microsoft 365 from GoDaddy. Our main speaker today is Tom from our product management team. He is going to review the opt-in process again for anyone that missed it the first time and hasn't already opted in. And then he's also going to show us an end-to-end product flow from the customer's perspective. So once Tom is complete with the demo, we have a couple people on here helping us with QA, including Kelsey from product marketing and Chelsea from product management. So there's everyone on the slide there. And a quick reminder before we get started, if you have any questions, please enter them in the Q&A section, and we will wait until the presentation is over to address all questions. I know last webinar that we did for Microsoft 365, we had a ton of questions. So we're ready for your questions again today. So again, just be sure to post them in the Q&A section and presenters will answer the questions that are pertinent to them. If there's some questions we're able to unanswer during the webinar, we may address it during a later webinar or in the community. And then also a reminder that this webinar will be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel as well as the resource portal. So if you need to drop, no worries, you can find the recording later. So I think we're ready to get started. So take it away, Tom.
All right, thanks so much, Alexa. Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Robinson, and I'm a product manager here at GoDaddy, and I'm excited to demo the new Microsoft 365 product offering coming to the reseller platform. I know many of you have been waiting for this for a long time, so I'm excited to walk you through what this experience looks like today. Now, before we jump into the details, if you haven't watched the first webinar, I highly recommend going to the YouTube channel and checking it out. There, we cover the opt-in experience in detail, as well as go into some of the specifics around the offering, as well as requirements and marketing materials. Now, for those of you who haven't had a chance to see the opt-in process, I'll provide a high-level overview here. So we'll get started with that. So in order to opt in to the new Microsoft 365 offering, you'll want to go to the Reseller Control Center, navigate to Products in the navigation bar, and select Email and Productivity. Now, this will take you on to the next page. And once that page loads, you'll click View Details next to Microsoft 365. Once you do that, that'll actually take you to the opt-in page where you can officially opt into offering your customers Microsoft 365. Now, before opting in, I recommend you click through each of the sections below and review the details, pricing, requirements, and if the offering matches your needs and you'd like to make Microsoft 365 available to your customers, you can click on the opt-in button. So that was a high-level overview of the opt-in process if you haven't done so already. And we will actually jump into the product demo now, where we will review what the experience will look like for your customers. We'll cover the purchase path, email creation, the setup checklist, the dashboard your customers will have access to, as well as what the Microsoft 365 email interface actually looks like. We'll then wrap it up with a quick Q&A session at the end, so definitely drop any questions you have into the chat. And with all that being said, we'll get started with the demo.
Hey Tom, if you do have the video playing right now, the sound isn't on. You might need to reshare your screen, allowing the sound from videos.
All right, we will try that again here. All right, today I'm going to walk you through the Microsoft 365 product experience from the lens of a customer and end user. So to start, from the reseller storefront, I'm going to select email. And if you've already opted in to selling Microsoft 365 from GoDaddy, you'll have an option to click Microsoft 365. This will take us to the 365 product page where you're going to actually see 4 plans available to your customers. Now, the first plan is Email Essentials, which is a professional email address with 10 gigabytes of email storage. The second is Email Plus. Now, this is similar to Email Essentials, but instead of 10 gigs of mailbox storage, it's got 50 gigs of mailbox storage. The third plan available to you is Online Essentials, which has all the benefits of Email Plus, but with 1 terabyte of OneDrive cloud storage, the Office 365 web applications, as well as Microsoft Teams. The fourth and final plan available to your customers is Business Premium, which has all the benefits of Online Essentials, plus the desktop versions of the Office 365 suite, as well as business apps that'll help with various aspects of running a business. Go ahead and add Business Premium to the cart. Now, for the purposes of this demo, I won't check out as I've already got a credit we can use. Now, from your My Products page under Email and Office, you'll be able to click on Setup next to Business Premium. This will actually take us into the setup flow for the email address. Now, the first thing it's going to do is ask for a domain that I'd like to use this with. So it'll automatically check the account for any available domains that can be used with this email address. It also gives me the option to select a domain that's not in this account. It could be a domain in another account, at another provider. We'll actually go with this domain here and we'll click Continue. It's going to give me the option to set auto renew for the domain that I'm going to be using. If you plan on using this long term, I definitely recommend selecting yes. For the purpose of this demo, I'll click not right now. And now I'm in the actual email account creation page. So here I can fill in my details. First name, last name, account type. Now in this case, I've got multiple credits available to me. I'm going to select Business Premium. I would like to be an administrator on this organization. And I'm going to go ahead and create a password. And that'll be an email address to send account information to. As soon as the account creation process is complete, I'm going to go ahead and select Create. Now, the account creation process typically takes 1 to 2 minutes. So as soon as that gets kicked off, we'll be given the opportunity to enter in a mobile phone number so we can get a text message letting us know when the account creation process is complete. We will skip that for now. All right, so once account creation is completed, we'll be redirected to the setup checklist. This checklist will also be emailed to you at the notification email that we specified on the previous screen. Now, the great thing about the checklist here is that it's going to do everything that it can to make sure we're ready to rock and roll with this email address, right? So one of the first things people do when they set up a new email address is go out and set it up on a mobile device. There's tons of different phones out there, tons of different applications. So we wanted to simplify this process as much as possible. So we actually provide your customers a QR code that they can actually scan with the camera on their mobile device. It'll automatically take them to the Outlook app or to the App Store on their device to install the Outlook app. We highly recommend to use the Microsoft Outlook app on your mobile device because it's fully connected to all the features of Exchange that Microsoft 365 is known for. Super easy email and folder management and very simple calendar management with free busy status available to all your users. So highly recommend using the Outlook app. There's also a link to other instructions if you want to use different applications to check your email or set up on desktop. You'll actually be able to click on these and it'll take you into those setup flows. The second item in the checklist is to send your first email. So once your email account is ready to rock and roll, you'll be able to log in, send yourself a test message, send somebody else in your office a message, a vendor, whoever it might be, to ensure that mail delivery is functional. The third step is to actually go in here and create an email signature. So we've made this pretty simple and straightforward. You fill in all of your details here, first name, last name, business name, title, phone number, whatever you want in here, completely optional. You can even upload your own logo. It'll show you what it'll actually look like, and you can generate that email signature, and it'll actually walk you through getting that included into any emails that you send from the online interface or through your desktop applications like Outlook. All right, the next thing in the checklist here is creating email aliases. Now, if you aren't familiar with email aliases, aliases are essentially an alternate email address that you can use for yourself. It's not a separate inbox. It's just an alternate address. So for example, if I wanted to create info at my domain to publish on my website, if anybody sends an email to info at my domain, it'll automatically be forwarded to my primary inbox. So that's a great way to create multiple addresses, but only have to worry about one login. If anything is sent to any of the alias addresses, they automatically are dropped into my primary inbox. So you can create email aliases here. And the final item on the list is installing Microsoft Teams. So if you're not familiar with Microsoft Teams, it's included in Business Premium as well as Online Essentials. And it's essentially a collaboration tool that combines workplace chat, meetings, notes, and attachments all in one place. So it makes staying connected with your employees, your business partners, your vendors a breeze, right? If you can't meet in person, you can pop open a Teams window and start a live meeting or schedule out meetings with those individuals whenever you'd like. So it's a great way to bring people together, even though they may be working in different places of the country, of the world, working remotely, whatever it might be. So that's the setup checklist. This is what your customers will be going through to make sure that they're ready to rock and roll with their new Microsoft 365 address. Now, once they go through all of this, they can, select done for each of these items. And then they'll have these additional dashboard elements. So for example, if you want to add another user, it'll actually take you to the flow of either creating or purchasing another user. You also have the option to sign in to your email directly using this link. You'll have access to the Setup Center, which is additional links for setting up on mobile, desktop, Office apps, all that fun stuff. And you've also got a link here to download the Office suite and start using Office applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all those exciting apps. So all available to you through your dashboard. You've also got some additional management options for your users. For example, you can come into here, you can do password resets, check out aliases, you can delete accounts. Once again, you've got access to some of these setup steps here if you need it, email signatures, as well as some account information things. For example, you want to change first and last name, add a recovery email address in the event that you forget your password and you want a temporary or at least a path to go through a password reset email to you. It'll also tell you whether or not you're an administrator and the type of account that's assigned to you. And the final thing that I want to show you in the Microsoft 365 dashboard is some of these admin functions. So once again, you've got quick access to things like email aliases. You can also create distribution groups. So if you need to create a distro group, for example, an address that gets sent to multiple people, multiple recipients, you can actually do that here. You also have access to the Advanced Admin Center. So all Microsoft 365 plans come with access to the Exchange Admin Center. Business Premium and Online Essentials also give you access to the Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive Admin Center. So if you're looking to handle kind of more advanced administrative functions, you have access to those admin centers through this panel in the dashboard. The next thing that we're going to look at here momentarily is actually signing in to your email for the first time. So we'll go ahead and enter in the email address here, as well as the password. And this is going to take us into the Microsoft 365 account. Here I have an option to enter in a recovery email. Highly recommend this. I'm going to skip this for now. All right, we are officially logged into our Microsoft 365 Business Premium email account. So as you can see here in Microsoft 365, we've got all of our apps listed on the left. We'll start off with Microsoft Outlook, which is really going to be the core of the email experience, especially if you're using the online version of Microsoft 365. Now on the left-hand side, we have all the folders that we would expect. So inbox, draft, sent items, deleted items, junk email, as well as some other ones here. If you'd like to create additional folders, you simply right-click the inbox, create new subfolder, and you can give that folder a name. If you want to generate a new message to somebody, just click on New Message, fill in all the details, and hit Send. You also have access to the app launcher. So if we click on that at the top left, we'll have access to all the apps within your particular plan. So in this case, we've got Business Premium, so there's a ton of apps in here that you can use to manage your business. Some of the primary ones here are Microsoft OneDrive. You've got some of the web apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote. If you're into hosting online meetings, joining online meetings, Microsoft Teams is a very powerful online meeting and collaboration tool that really brings people from all over together in one place for interactive meetings. So really great collaboration tool there. You've got other common apps like your calendar, so you can manage all of your appointments and upcoming tasks. You've also got People down here at the lower left, which is your contact manager, basically. So you can enter in new contacts by clicking New Contact. You can fill out all the information here and save that. And if we go back to our inbox here, you'll also have some other features if you'd like to customize this experience. So at the top right of the page, you've got this little gear icon. If you click on that, you can change the theme of your inbox however you'd like, different banners at the top. You can also enable dark mode and light mode. You've got the ability to turn on focused inbox. Focused inbox is basically a feature that uses Microsoft's machine learning to help keep your inbox as clean and clutter-free as possible. You also have the ability to enable desktop notifications as well as change the way that your mailbox looks. There's some additional advanced settings here. You can further customize the layout of your inbox. You can create your email signature, right? Paste in what we went over earlier today. You have the ability to set inbox rules to, keep your inbox as clean and orderly as possible. You've got some blocked and safe sender options within here. Also have the ability to enable forwarding. So for example, if you want copies of your messages forwarded onto another address, you can enable forwarding, enter in the address, and get started with that. You also have the ability to manage any automatic replies that you might have in here. So if you're going on vacation, if you're out of the office, whatever the situation might be, you can turn on automatic replies and set start and end times, as well as messages to both people within your organization and outside of your organization. You also have some tools for group management available to you, as well as some additional features for managing your calendar, the way it looks, weather, all that fun stuff, as well as some tools to manage your contact list and how you want those contacts to be displayed. So that was a quick run through of the experience online. I'd like to thank you all for your time today and taking a look at this demo, and I will pass it off to Alexa.
All right, so I'm going to open up the floor for Q&A. Let me open up the Q&A and then we'll start running through them, and all of the presenters, if you guys want to chime in, if you see a question that pertains to you and you think it'll be one that you can answer, go for it. It looks like we only have 3 questions in the Q&A right now. We have one that was answered. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading. So Michael, we have 3 questions. All right, first one. Can we assume that the list of domains will contain all domains in the account? So also domains that have that already have workspace email set up?
Yeah, I can take that question. Yeah,
Okay.
It'll actually show all the domains available in that account, even if it's already set up on another platform. And part of that setup flow is if it does recognize that it's set up on another platform, it'll actually warn you before proceeding.
Awesome, easy enough. All right, next question. What's the advantage if a client should ask in buying Office 365 from me and naturally from GoDaddy versus direct from Microsoft?
Yeah, I can definitely help address that question. Great question, Michael. One of the primary advantages of the experience that you saw today was the actual dashboard that we use to manage the Microsoft 365 accounts. When you set up Microsoft 365 outside of the experience that we showed you today, there's a lot of steps involved. You have to connect your domain. You have to, update all your DNS records. You have to go in and associate users to those licenses. We've made it really simple with the dashboard to actually do all of those housekeeping steps for you. So you don't have to worry about connecting the domain if your domain and DNS are with us. If you have DNS at a third party, we provide very clear instructions on how to get those updated. We also handle all the provisioning of the accounts and typically get those things created within 1 to 2 minutes. So definitely the dashboard would be the differentiating experience here.
I would also add the service that you can bring as a reseller, the integration of not only the email and other products that they've purchased through you is also a key one-stop shop kind of message that we like to bring to our messaging. As Tom mentioned, the setup and the dashboard also helps everything in one place. And for those of you that either provide support or use GoDaddy support to support your clients, think about the last time you might have called Microsoft for support. It might have been a little bit more difficult to get a hold of them.
Very good point. Yeah. All right, next question. Is there a simple process by which an existing Office 365 customer can transfer their Office 365 to me / GoDaddy from another vendor or Microsoft Direct, similar to how they can easily transfer a domain name?
Yeah, I can take that one here. So looks like what you're referring to there, Michael, is a migration process to move from a 365 provider or another, or Microsoft Direct to the platform that you saw today. So at launch, migration options won't be available, but I can assure you that we're actually actively looking into that, and work is being done there. So no ETA at this point, but more to come soon.
Great. And then we don't have any more questions in the Q&A section, but I do see some in the chat, so I'm going to read some of those. It looks like since Microsoft prices are fixed, are they automatically excluded from website promotions? And the answer to that is yes. They are excluded from promotions. Next one is more of a concern. Oh, and then there is a question at the end. I have one main concern, and it's related to marketing. With GoDaddy all over the landscape, clients will be naturally tempted to see if they can get this cheaper from GoDaddy. From experience, GoDaddy competes with us, and if GoDaddy's offering those deals we don't have access to, my clients will naturally jump to GoDaddy, which is a big concern. How is GoDaddy planning to ensure that our efforts are going to be unlikely to simply benefit GoDaddy this way? That is a loaded question. Anyone want to take that one?
I'm not sure how pricing is set for resellers, but it sounds like it, from this question, that is a concern. So yeah, I'm not.
Okay, I'm sorry, Alexa. I've been working on a header issue. Can you repeat the question and I can answer for you?
Yeah, it's basically just regarding the set pricing concern for resellers, because resellers won't be able to set their pricing for Microsoft since it is a static pricing. So just concerns for that. And then how is GoDaddy planning to ensure that efforts are going to be unlikely to simply benefit GoDaddy?
We have the pricing the way it is. It's you are still earning a commission. We have very high costs from Microsoft. I can assure you that GoDaddy is not making any kind of cut on their end. We try to make it really as cheap as possible for you to pass on to your customers. And really, that's kind of all I can really say about that. It's a requirement from Microsoft that we set the prices, that we do not allow resellers to choose their own prices. It all needs to be priced the exact same, and you cannot use any promotions on these products. So it's up to you if you want to sell it, if it works in your business, but the pricing is what Microsoft has required of us.
Great answer, Chelsea. Another question that came up in the Q&A, will GoDaddy consider to stop their Microsoft 365 discounts for a while we launch for resellers?
There is no plan to stop GoDaddy pricing strategy or discounts.
All right, so moving on to the next one. We can have a client with the same domain and email hosting. The client already has a domain, hosting, and email accounts with cPanel and our GoDaddy reseller panel. Now they want to have the same domain, but with Office 365 emails. Is that possible?
I can definitely answer that. So it's absolutely possible. So if you've got your domain attached with another email service, for example, cPanel email, you can definitely disassociate that and use that domain with Microsoft 365. The one thing you'll want to, keep top of mind is if you have any data in the cPanel version of that email that you want moved over, for the time being, you'll have to manually back that up and import it into Microsoft 365 until we have a migration process available. So that won't be available at launch, but you can absolutely do that. But if you do want that data to come over in the beginning, you'll have to manually back that up and re-import, which we have instructions for on the site. So.
Great. And then I do see some concern in the chat regarding promotions on Microsoft 365 while we do the reseller release. So maybe that's something that we can bring up.
I can kind of address it, Mark. There is a lot on there of saying it isn't fair to resellers. As I said before, it is up to you and your business if this works for you. For many of our resellers, they do additional services for their customers, and that their customers are not looking for the cheapest Microsoft 365. They are looking for just the opportunity there, and that the reseller is doing additional work for them. If it is only, if your customers are only looking at prices and they're going to be looking at GoDaddy's prices and going, no, I'm not going to go with you because GoDaddy's is cheaper, this is probably not a good fit for you. I'll be honest there. It's just probably not going to be what you need it to be. We are looking at other fully white labeled options that we can roll out for resellers globally. So it's not that you're going to be stuck with Workspace forever. It's just this Microsoft offering. Maybe it just doesn't work with your business, and that's okay. You don't need to opt into it. It's why we have it as an opt-in option. But it is a requirement from Microsoft and how this is priced, that there cannot be discounts or anything like that. And this is the best that we are able to offer right now. So it's kind of is what it is. And I understand it doesn't work for everybody's business. But it does work for some, and that is why we're offering it. So if it works for your business, that's great. Move forward. If it doesn't, don't opt into it.
Very well put, Chelsea. Thanks for addressing that. Definitely a tough question to answer, but like she said, yeah, it's not the best fit for everyone, and we understand that. So that's why we did the opt-in, which is perfect. All right, so I don't see any other questions that came up in the Q&A. I don't see any other questions coming through the chat. So if you have any last minute questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A as I wrap up, and we can answer them before I close down the chat. All right, we have a question that came in. How does Microsoft allow GoDaddy to price flex but not us? I think Chelsea had mentioned that the agreement with Microsoft to allow us to offer this product for our resellers was pretty specific in the legalese, and it just wasn't part of that agreement. Chelsea, I don't know if you want to expand on that one.
It's I mean, GoDaddy is taking a hit, as in like they aren't making any profit on sales because the costs from Microsoft are so high, and that's not an option for the reseller channel to do that. And that is a lot of different legal reasons as to why of resellers basically costing a lot of money to GoDaddy is not something that's allowed by a publicly traded company. So lots of different reasons there, but that's why GoDaddy can sell it at a negative margin. Resellers are not able to do that, and the promotions are not able to be used because that is part of Microsoft's agreement with us, is like that resellers have to sell it at one rate that is set by GoDaddy, that is approved by Microsoft, and that is the only price that they can sell it. So I understand it's very frustrating. There's probably a lot of folks on this call that I have had many arguments trying to get it where you resellers are able to set whatever price you want, have full flexibility. we've exhausted every option there is. I'm aware that we've never done anything like this. That this is the first time. And like I said, it doesn't work for everybody, but it does work for some. For those folks it doesn't work for, we're working on another option.
Yeah. All right. We have a request.
Sorry, Alexa, there's that last comment. There needs to be a true financial value to expect people to cross over. That is true for only your business. If you do not provide additional services and your customers are only looking at that financial value, may not be it for you. There are other businesses that do offer additional services, and that it doesn't need to be only a true financial value to sell it. There, you can do more if that works in your business. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, and that's where I'm saying it may not work for everybody's business. That's like the pinnacle of what I'm saying there. Sorry, Alexa, I interrupted you.
Oh, no worries. We have a request to pass the 2 recordings of this Zoom to be review with technicians. So I will post this webinar and the recording of the demo. I'll post those in YouTube. I'll also post them within the reseller resource portal, and then I'll also post the links in the RCC. So you'll have 3 places where you can revisit this webinar and then also revisit webinar 1 so that you can pass it over to everyone on your team. Okay, and then the other one, it just looks like their comments. So someone said, I agree with you regarding the limitations for discounting the products. It would be great if GoDaddy can renew reseller domain discounts that we had so that we can combine with offerings of Office 365. And then, oh, great, a positive comment. Despite the not favorable pricing options and lack of promotions, I'm still very happy to be able to offer this product to offset the negativity a bit. So thank you for your positive comments. Like Chelsea said, yeah, it's not going to work out for every business model and every company, but for those of you that have been really looking forward to selling Microsoft 365, we are definitely happy to provide it. Let's see, can we opt out in the future if we decide it's not for us?
Yes, you can. Call into our reseller owner support line and they'll be able to opt you out. If and when like somebody decides to do that, any customer that did purchase Microsoft 365 while you are opted in, they are going to keep the product. They are going to be able to renew that product and everything going forward. It just won't be available for sale on your storefront. Our care agents won't be able to be selling it. It'll just be removed for all new purchases. But the customers that already have it will be able to continue having it if you do opt out.
Thanks, Chelsea. So that's also another good option too. If you want to try out selling Microsoft 365 for a couple months and see how it goes, and maybe if it doesn't work out for you and your business, you can always opt out later. It's not like you can't go back. So that's great. All right. One more question maybe coming through. Okay, here we go. Is there an update on the release timing? We're working on messaging and content planning, and that would be helpful. Maybe I missed this. If so, I apologize. Yeah, so we didn't say a specific date when we're doing the release yet. I know that we're still working on bugs. Chelsea, do you have specific timing that you want to give them?
I don't want to give specific timing. We had hoped to be launching this week. But as we are kind of digging deeper and deeper and deeper into every single user case that we can possibly think of, we're finding little bugs that we really want to get it perfect from the initial launch. So we'll be announcing on community in the Reseller Control Center. We'll be putting it everywhere to let everyone know as soon as it's launched. But very soon.
Yes.
Is all I can really say is very soon. That we had hoped this week. If you don't see it on an announcement by end of day tomorrow, expect it to be the following week. But as we don't do launches on Friday, but very, very soon we will be making an announcement and letting you know as soon as it's available. So right now, when you opt in, it is it's not going to show up on your storefront right away. It's only once the product is actually made available that we'll do that.
And then also, so Chelsea mentioned it will be posted in the RCC when it launches. We'll post in the community. And then we're also sending out an email notification. So you don't have to go search somewhere to see if it's available. We'll actually just send it to your inbox. So you'll get a notification when the product is ready. Yeah.
Handy dandy. Thanks, Alexa.
What? Sorry, what?
Well, that's just handy. Thanks.
Oh, great. Yes. And then we have another question that came in. Can you do demos or tests for customers to try before buying, example, for 30 days?
So Santiago, that is something that I have been working with our e-commerce team to try to get for you for a very long time. I am hoping that we might be able to in like the next year or so, but it is something that I have gotten feedback before about that. And we do want to get that kind of functionality that you can offer that if you like, but there's a lot of work to be done on our GoDaddy infrastructure to make that happen. So we'd like to, but quick answer is that's not available.
Okay. Let's see. Is there a refund policy for Office 365?
Kelsey, do you want to answer that?
Our general refund policy, which I guess applies to resellers as well, is the 30 days.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Let's see. It looks like Hall said, thank you very much. I'm very excited about this product. All our questions are basically just entrepreneurs brainstorming loudly our options and decision making. Please know that we appreciate you guys and we're happy to partner with GoDaddy. Just kind of family nervous moment. We love you. Well, thanks for the kind note. And we're here to answer your questions and be very transparent with you all. So yeah, if you have questions, feel free to run them by us. We have another question that came up. It's not really pertaining to Microsoft 365. So it's maybe something that we can address in the community regarding timing on the new online store. So we'll just kind of skip that one for now. If there's any other questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A as I wrap up. I'm just going to let you guys know, quick reminder that this recording will be posted so you can revisit it. If you have any questions that you think of later on, feel free to post them in the community. I'll post the link to the community in the description box for this video within the YouTube channel so that you can just click right there. If you're rewatching this video and you have questions that pop up, you can just go straight into the community. And Andy from our team monitors the community. He reads all the comments and he gets back to our resellers on there. I also kind of pop in there and read what you guys are typing. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in there and we'll get back to you that way. Otherwise, it looks like we're all out of questions now. So I'm going to wrap up. Thanks so much for your time, you guys. We really appreciate it. And yeah, keep your eyes open for the announcement of this launch. It will be coming, like Chelsea said, fingers crossed, in the next week. And you will receive an email to your inbox when it's released, and then it'll also be posted in the RCC and the community.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.